Carol Burnett is one of the most beloved figures in American entertainment. Yet her life was shaped by hardship long before she became a household name. At the heart of her story is a paradox. A woman who could make millions laugh also carried deep personal pain, especially when it came to certain people she worked with. Born Carol Creighton Burnett on April 26, 1933 in San Antonio, Texas, she grew up in a world marked by poverty, instability, and the emotional aftermath of her parents' alcoholism. Raised largely by her grandmother in a modest Los Angeles apartment, she learned early that humor could be a lifeline. She used imagination and mimicry to survive, entertaining herself and those around her in a world that offered little comfort. Later, she would become the first woman to host a long-running variety sketch show in prime time. Yet her greatest victories were forged in the difficult soil of her early life. A childhood built on resilience. Burnett's early years were defined by instability. Her parents struggled with alcoholism, and her family lived under constant financial strain. In the face of hardship, Carol's grandmother became her anchor, offering love and shelter in a cramped Los Angeles apartment. Despite the difficulties, Carol found a way to survive through humor. She used her imagination as a coping mechanism, often mimicking teachers and adults, and entertaining children at school with her natural comedic flair. Even as a child, she recognized the power of laughter to shift the mood of a room. Her early performances weren't for fame. They were a way to survive emotionally. This ability to turn pain into comedy would later define her career. Her childhood was not a story of privilege, but a story of survival. The humor that would later win her awards was born from necessity, not choice. From journalism to the stage, Burnett's path to fame began when she attended UCLA, originally intending to study journalism. Yet the pull of performance soon redirected her ambitions. She found herself drawn to theater and comedy, discovering a passion that felt more honest than the path she'd planned. A pivotal moment came when an anonymous benefactor gave her money to move to New York to pursue her dream, with the condition that she would one day help someone else in need. That act of generosity became symbolic of Burnett's approach to life: grace, gratitude, and the desire to pay kindness forward. It was a gift that allowed her to step into the world she'd always imagined. She didn't waste it. Instead, she used it as a launchpad for a career that would reshape television. Her story is a reminder that sometimes one act of kindness can change a life forever. Breaking through on television. In the 1950s, Burnett began breaking into television through variety and talk shows, most notably The Gary Moore Show. Her talent quickly stood out. She had a gift for physical comedy, a face that could convey 1,000 emotions in a single expression, and the rare ability to move between outrageous humor and heartfelt sincerity. Her breakout performance, singing "I Made a Fool of Myself" over John Foster Dulles, showcased her fearlessness and originality, daring to satirize even the most unexpected subjects. Audiences connected with her because she seemed genuine. She laughed at herself, and in doing so, invited the world to laugh with her. Her early success wasn't merely about talent, it was about authenticity. She didn't try to be glamorous, she simply tried to be real. And that realness became her greatest strength, the birth of a television legend. Burnett's crowning achievement came in 1967 with The Carol Burnett Show. At a time when variety shows were dominated by men, she broke barriers as the first woman to host a long-running primetime variety sketch show. The program ran for 11 seasons until 1978, becoming a cultural institution. It blended sharp satire, brilliant character work, musical performances, and unforgettable sketches. Burnett's range was unmatched. She played characters like the awkward secretary Mrs. Wiggins, the disheveled Eunice, and performed elaborate parodies such as Gone with the Wind. Her chemistry with her ensemble, Harvey Korman, Vicki Lawrence, Tim Conway, and Lyle Waggoner, produced some of the most enduring moments in television history. Burnett's show wasn't just funny, it was daring. It redefined what women could do on television, opening the door for generations of female comedians. The warmth. Behind the spotlight off-screen, Burnett's warmth became a hallmark of her public persona. Her opening Q&A sessions were legendary. a moment when she would stroll onto the stage in an evening gown and field questions from the audience. She responded with honesty, humor, and personal stories that made viewers feel like they knew her. That connection was intentional. Burnett didn't want to be distant from her fans. She wanted to be part of their lives. She understood that comedy was not just entertainment, it was a form of intimacy. Through those Q&As, she created a bond that felt personal, as if she were sharing a joke with a friend. It's part of why her legacy remains so powerful. She made millions feel seen, heard, and comforted, all while making them laugh. Awards, honors, and a trailblazing legacy. Throughout her career, Burnett earned numerous accolades, including multiple Emmy Awards, Golden Globes, and the Presidential Medal of Freedom. She was honored with the Kennedy Center Honors in 2003 and the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor in 2013, confirming her status as a cultural trailblazer. Her influence is visible across comedy and entertainment. From Tina Fey to Kristen Wiig, Burnett's blend of physical slapstick and character-driven humor has inspired generations. But her legacy is not only about comedy, it's about breaking barriers. She proved that women could lead, create, and dominate in a male-dominated industry. She didn't just earn laughter, she earned respect. And her influence continues, especially as more women claim space in comedy and television, standing on the shoulders of the woman who dared to do it first. The marriage that built a television empire. Shortly after her divorce, Burnett met Joe Hamilton. They married on May 4, 1963. Hamilton was a television producer and a divorced father of 8, and his influence on Burnett's career was profound. He produced her acclaimed 1962 Carnegie Hall concert and later produced The Carol Burnett Show. Their marriage became a creative partnership, blending personal life with professional ambition. Together, they raised 3 daughters while navigating the pressures of television production. But their union was not without struggle. They faced the painful reality of their daughter Carrie's addiction, a battle that took an emotional toll on the family. Burnett and Hamilton became advocates for parents facing similar challenges, raising funds for recovery clinics and speaking openly about addiction when it was still taboo. Their marriage ended in 1984, but their impact on both entertainment and advocacy endures. A global mission of compassion. In 1988, Burnett and her daughter Carrie traveled to Moscow to help introduce the first Alcoholics Anonymous branch in the Soviet Union. This trip was emblematic of Burnett's dedication to breaking the silence around addiction and supporting recovery worldwide. It was a bold and compassionate move, an example of how she used her public platform for meaningful change. The journey was not just symbolic, it was personal. Burnett knew firsthand the pain of addiction's impact on family, and she refused to let it remain hidden. Her advocacy helped destigmatize addiction at a time when such conversations were often silenced. In the years since, she has continued to support recovery and mental health causes, showing that her commitment to others extends far beyond the stage and screen. The later years: love, loss, and renewal. Joe Hamilton passed away in 1991 from cancer, closing a significant chapter in Burnett's life. Despite the pain, Burnett continued to live with courage and resilience. She later married Brian Miller on November 24, 2001, a talented drummer 23 years her junior. Their relationship reflected Burnett's openness to new beginnings, even after decades of hardship. She refused to be defined by age or loss, embracing love and companionship when it felt right. Her life became a testament to renewal, that it is possible to rebuild after tragedy, to find joy again, and to continue moving forward. Burnett's personal journey remains a powerful reminder that the heart can heal, even when it is deeply wounded. The truth behind the laughter. Harvey Korman. Behind the iconic partnership with Harvey Korman lay a complicated truth. Publicly, their chemistry was seamless. Their sketches were legendary. But Burnett has admitted that her relationship with Korman was strained and at times deeply painful. Over years of working together under the intense pressures of television production, resentment grew. Burnett has said that she hated him more than anyone else. The dislike wasn't sudden, it developed over time. Corman was known to be moody and temperamental, and his unpredictable behavior often disrupted the working environment. Burnett, who valued professionalism and respect, found this behavior unacceptable. She felt hurt by what she saw as arrogance and entitlement, and by what she believed was a lack of appreciation for her efforts. Their relationship became a reminder that even the most brilliant collaborations can be complicated behind the scenes. A partnership built on genius and conflict. The complexity of Burnett's relationship with Corman is a reminder that the magic audiences see is often built on difficult realities. Burnett admired Corman's comedic genius and recognized his undeniable talent, but she also experienced deep frustration and disappointment. Their off-camera relationship never blossomed into genuine friendship, and Burnett often felt emotionally unsupported. The intensity of their working relationship amplified every irritation because they spent so much time together. The emotional strain was intensified by Burnett's desire to maintain professionalism, forcing her to suppress her feelings during filming and public appearances. In the end, her admission of hatred is not a simple accusation. It is a testament to how deeply she cared about the show and the people involved. When expectations are high and the pressure is constant, even the strongest relationships can crack. Outro. The human story behind the icon. Carol Burnett remains a symbol of joy, resilience, and groundbreaking achievement. Her influence is visible in nearly every corner of comedy and entertainment. Yet her story is not simply one of success. It is a story of survival, of turning hardship into laughter, and of enduring pain while continuing to shine. She broke barriers as a woman in a male-dominated industry, opened doors for generations of comedians, and used her fame for advocacy and compassion. And even in the face of deep personal conflict, like her complicated relationship with Harvey Korman, she remained committed to her craft and her audience. Burnett's life proves that comedy can be both a shield and a weapon, a way to heal and to challenge. Her legacy is not just laughter, it is courage,